This is WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. And we have with us at WZRD Tex Chavez.
That's Renne Tex Chavez.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Renne Tex Chavez. Yes.
Exactly.
And Tex, you are very active in community work, especially unions. Could you tell us what union you are in and how you became involved with that union, and
Okay.
where do you work?
Okay. Basically, I was with SEIU Local 73, but I transferred. I went to, was in the warehouse at SEIU Local 73. Now I'm a janitor at a school, high school, in the locale in Chicago, on the northwest side of Chicago. Can't say this is the school name. Been doing this for close to 2 years. I'm with the SEIU Local 1, SEIU 1 union. Yes, I am a union member. I pay dues to be in this union.
Can you tell us how much dues you pay? Is it
Yeah,
or something, or every paycheck?
it's monthly. It's like maybe close to $28 or $30 a check.
Oh, okay.
So it adds up after a while. You know, it's.
Do you get paid weekly or bi-weekly?
I get paid every 2 weeks.
Ah, okay.
Every 2 weeks, not like 15th and the 30th or 31st. Every 2 weeks. So sometimes like once. There's 2 months in a year where we get 3 paydays, 3 checks. So it's good. It's not bad. But you know, everything is a give and take with working as a janitor.
What do you how did you become involved in the union politics?
Oh, it happened back when I was with SEIU 73. The president of the union was Christine Boardman. And there was things happening there. At the beginning, Rahm Emanuel was closing down, I think it was 28 schools in the south and the southwest side of Chicago, and I got involved in it. And I ruffled a few feathers because I didn't like when our union president was giving the mayor then, Rahm Emanuel, 2 checks for $20,000, and we brought it up in the union meeting that they had. This is before the pandemic, and when Rahm Emanuel was around, and I asked the union president of all the unions of SEIU, and she had an investigation, and it just steamrolled into letting the president of our union go, because I didn't know, and other union members didn't know that they were giving out money to Mr. Rahm Emanuel was the mayor then.
So they actually took the money out of the union dues.
Yes. Yes, they took the money out of the union.
If they were to do that, they would have to get board approval. But did they get board approval?
I don't know that answer correctly. I'm gonna say no, but I don't know 100%. But I'm certain that they did, because they had got asked the union president to leave because of this was brought up and in the news media. This didn't happen recently. This happened like about maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I'm not 100% sure, but it did happen, and she was asked to resign or did renew her contract.
Yeah, so if she had went through the proper channels, she wouldn't have been asked to leave.
No, because she would have been asked to leave anyways, even if you went to the proper channels. Because why would you give 2 checks for $20,000, adding up to $40,000, when the mayor of the city of Chicago, then Rahm Emanuel, was closing schools down? That meant all the people that worked there, including teachers, janitors like me. I was a night watchman at the time, and was let go. So no, even if you went to the proper channels, which they did not, it would still been bad. It was still bad anyways, no matter what. And it just snowballed to something real enormous, and they had to ask her to leave, or she was quit or resigned.
Resigned, yes,
gracefully.
Yes. What about the union? The union they do endorse candidates and then donate to candidates as well, right? Do you remember who they who they supported? Did they support Rahm Emanuel in his election to become?
They did support him because if you're getting 2 checks for $40,000, you're supporting him because that's what I was told, that he's going to get jobs. It's like, you're telling me he's going to get you jobs. This is why you're giving him 2 checks for $40,000 and closing schools. That's not the way you should be doing it, in my opinion. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a union member, and I didn't see it that way. I really don't, because schools are all closing back then, and that's not the way I see it.
Right.
I don't know if anybody else sees it differently.
Do you know if there was any criminal investigation against what she did?
No, because it was a donation. It couldn't have been criminal because it was donated, but it wasn't authorized by the union members. It was authorized by the higher ups, which is the president and treasurer and other people that were involved in that. There was no vote, and if there was, I wasn't present, and I was a representative of the union.
They should have normally they should bring it to the representatives for a vote, right?
Yes, that is correct.
And then what would be the percentage where the vote would be accepted? How much?
It had to be unanimous. It couldn't be like 90%. It can't be 95%. It had to be unanimous. And if I was there to vote, I would never allowed 2 checks for $20,000 each go to Rahm Emanuel at all.
And Rahm Emanuel kept the money. He never returned it.
Oh no, he didn't return it. No. And that's why I think Christine Boardman left gracefully, because they weren't going to renew her contract, or she was asked to leave, or something like this. They did it nicely, but they shouldn't have did it nicely. They should just fired her right out, because people lost their jobs, and that's not right.
Do you know about how many people lost their jobs? A lot, right? 28 schools. That's a lot of.
Yeah, that's a lot of. I don't know the number per se, but a lot of people did lose their jobs, and their livelihood, and a lot of schools closed, and a lot of them are closed now. And right now, now I guess the city is using that for people that are coming from
shelters for the migrants.
Migrants, yeah, which is have people on the uprise. A lot of people in the Black community doesn't like that. And I understand that, because if other people come from other countries and want to move here, they probably couldn't, But I couldn't tell you that, whether that's yes or no on that one. I couldn't tell you. I would say first and foremost, any mayor here in the city of Chicago should first take care of the people that live here first, then take care of other people that come from other countries. Take care of the people here that live here right now, that don't have housing, that don't have clothes, that can't eat. I know that the city is doing some kind of stuff to help homelessness, which is great, but you still, need to take care of your people that live here and get raised here and go to school here, which is great too. But they need to up the ante more for schools across the nation, not just the city of Chicago. There's other schools in around the United States that are losing a lot of money.
So the problems are reflected in the whole country. What Chicago is experiencing here is reflected in a lot of other areas in the country as well.
Yes, there's a whole bunch of other cities, municipalities that are losing money and revenues, not by any help from the government, which is the government should be helping, the federal government should be helping. They cut maybe 20, 25, 30% of their budget for education. Don't quote me on that, because I'm just saying that because I think that's how much, but they budget more for the military, more for them than they do us, or the younger children that need to be taken care of. They need to have information, or books to read or more computers. Excuse me, books. They don't even read books anymore. They use the computer, so they need to have more computers so they can have more knowledge. But I still think always is to read is to lead. That's my opinion.
Do you know if when Christine Boardman left, then the administration that followed her, the president that followed her, did you lost your job, so you didn't even did you still stay involved in the union politics at that time?
At that time, yes, I did because I transferred out of that from the Chicago Public Schools. I went to Cook County Board of Election, which still is under Local 73.
Oh.
And I still was around for that. And then I got laid off because the pandemic just hit and everybody was let go. If you had less than like 5 years or something, you were let go because we had a lot of employees at the Cook County Board that had 10, 15, 20 years under their belt. So they stayed, which is fine. And Danny, you have to go with the union rules, which I don't mind. I don't mind following it, so I wasn't there that long.
You served as a representative in the union, like a voting representative. So how long are the terms for a representative in the union?
Okay, for SEIU 73, it was like I'm pretty sure it was 2 years. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was 2 years, and then you had to re-up again.
Yeah. They're elected, right?
They're elected, but they're elected by the union members. They're not elected through like people that just have a voting card. No, you have to be a union member, a paying union member.
And does the entire union vote for like maybe a 3 or 5 or something like that, or do they vote for where the representative represents a certain district?
They vote for a slate, which is the president, the vice president, the treasurer, and so forth. And that goes down the line. There's a slate, like there might be 10 people that are within the union that have their titles, and they have to be elected. You have to have a slate with them. I can't really just. I'm trying to say I'm gonna try to run for union president, SEIU 1, but I still got to have a slate of people that want to help me try to get in there. Because the one that's there now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think she was appointed. She wasn't elected. I'm not 100% sure on that. I was told that by other people in the union at SEIU Local 1. I can't say that for sure, but it's better to tell you that ahead of time.
Yes.
Not saying that, oh yeah, for sure she was this or that. No, but that's another thing because I'm so like disenfranchised with this union because the union SIU 1 is not helping their union members. They call me and tell me, hey, how come in this and how come in that? I can help you a little bit. One lady was crying on the phone to me, and I had to, tell her this and that. Don't cry. Don't quit. Don't quit your job because, I want to keep you there at your job because, it's not easy to get these jobs. You have to pass some kind of background check. They take some of your blood. I mean, not your blood, but I think it's a blood test or a hair test, something like that. And they fingerprint you because that's what they did to me. They fingerprinted me and I passed the test. I mean, the criminal background because you have to have a criminal background check. You can't be a thief and you can't be a molester and stuff like that. You can't because you're around children or high school student, you steal, you can't. Ain't no way in the world. I wouldn't want my kids around them. And I'm sure nobody else would want them around them either.
So you also ran for representative in SEIU 1.
No, I have not ran for SEIU Local 1 because I just knew that they're coming up with an election pretty soon, which is within a couple months. I think it's in February. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's pretty much in February. I'm not 100% to tell you that, but I do want to run for union president because the mere fact that I've talked to the union president and asked her point out, why didn't you, at the last meeting that we had at Plumbers Hall, why don't you ask your union members what their problem is? We can't get through the phones. You don't call back. You call back a week or two later when anybody has a problem. That goes back to one person that quit, was crying on the phone to me, and I don't want to give her name, but she was having a problem at the school and nobody was helping her. So she called me, knowing that I know some people in the union, and she ended up losing. She didn't lose her job, but she just quit because it was like an harassment, so she just quit outright. But she still could go back and she felt like it. But I don't know. I haven't talked to her like in about a month or two. So I didn't want her to leave. I told her not to leave, not to quit, because I don't want you to lose your seniority that you have here, which is maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. So I don't want her to lose it on that, but she left anyways. I'm like, okay, I can't make you stay, but that's what you wanted, so be it. I can't.
So there were, in addition to this union member, there were others too. They had problems, and the administration was unresponsive to.
Yes, other people have talked to me and told me that they've called the union several times and they have not got through. I went to the union meeting at Plumbers Hall and I talked to a couple of them, and they said, we can't get through Tex. I'm like, look, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm new to this union. I'm not going to lie to you or nothing like that. You have to keep trying. Don't stop trying. Call them, email them, and keep a trail of what's going on. Because if you don't, they say, well, where's your paperwork, or where's this, or where's that?
The
paper trail, but it's electronic trail now. So if you don't have any of this, they're gonna say, well, you didn't call it, you didn't leave me a message or nothing, because that's what a lot of people do. Oh, we don't have it. I said, no, I got it on my phone. I told the president of the union, I have it on my phone. I text you at the union SEIU one. I have it. She goes, oh, I can't get back to you because of this or that. People really don't want to hear that. They want you to help them, and I try to help as best I can. And I've talked directly to the union president, and she said, oh, we'll have an agenda next union meeting. Every meeting is monthly or 2 months or whatever, bi-monthly or something like this. But I told her, I said, look, you need to have the union rank and file talk at these meetings, not just, oh, we did this, we did that, we did this. No, the people that work here in the city of Chicago need somebody to help them or guide them along, and you're not doing it correctly. To me, again, that's my own opinion, but if you talk to other union members, which I have had there, and they talked to her and it didn't work. So I don't know what to tell her
at the board
anymore.
meetings, is there public comment? Are union representatives, the attendees, allowed to speak with the board?
The union rank and file can talk, yes.
At the meeting, like at public comment.
But it's not a public forum where anybody on the street, you have to be a union member to go to the meeting, just to get that straight. You can't just walk up to, oh, I'm going to this meeting. No, that doesn't work that way. You have to be a union member. And then you could talk to them and let them know. I've talked to them a couple of times and they said, no, we heard your text. I said, you're not hearing me because you're not doing anything. You want to, a lot of them pat themselves on the back because they did this or that, but the people here in the city of Chicago need their help. I understand you go to other states or cities and help them, but we need help here.
And when you speak with them at the public comment, or at after the meeting and speak with them in person, or both?
Well, they cut that out. That's why I said they don't want you to get up, and talk to the president. You have to wait till after they're done. That's why I told her at the meeting, why don't you have them come talk to you on stage and everybody hear what they have to say? And then you answer them directly, not, oh, well, we'll wait till later or this and that, or we'll put it on the next meeting agenda. They're here now. What do you have to wait? Why do we have to wait till the next meeting?
Well, the
I
thing
don't
is
understand
that
that.
every union member, if they have a problem, it's time sensitive. They don't have the luxury of waiting a month or so to get the
No,
matter
no,
resolved.
right. They don't. They like me. I had a problem where they said something that I did and it wasn't even correct. They looked at the tapes, they looked at cameras and everything. They said it was unfounded.
Mhm.
So, and I called them and I said, luckily, my sister, she's a law student, a law clerk for City Hall. Luckily, I got a hold of her and I told her, she goes, okay, little brother, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Please tell me correctly so I can help you. I said, no, I didn't do anything. That's incorrect. And I was told by another principal at another school that I worked at, they checked the tapes and they didn't see nothing wrong. I was like, I told everybody that. They go, well, the damage was done. I felt hurt. I felt betrayed,
Mhm.
and nobody at the union helped
Mm.
until like a week later. And then they said, well, they deleted the information. Well, who told you to delete the information? Why are you deleting information
Delete
that's
what information?
prevalent to me?
Right. What information did they delete?
The information was that whatever they said I did, there was a recording in front of the school and in the school area where in the hallways and everything, they said this or that, and it was incorrect. I didn't do anything wrong, and they showed him on the video because I had another principal talk to me and they said, we seen the video. You
Mhm.
didn't do nothing wrong. I said,
So
I told people
did
that.
they delete the video?
No, the union deleted the information. CPS did not delete anything. They
Okay.
keep this,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Okay, so the union deleted the details of your case.
Right. They deleted the information
Mm.
from their computers.
Mhm. And
CPS doesn't delete stuff like that.
so they just because it was unfounded, then they deleted it. But
Yes,
mm,
that's not good. And
mm,
that didn't help me at all because I wanted a copy of it. I wanted to take a copy of it and keep it
Mhm.
for my records.
in case it
But they
happened
said,
again,
no,
so
yeah. And they said, no, we deleted it. And I didn't authorize you to delete anything. And I don't know why you would delete any of that information, you know.
what other problems besides being unresponsive has happened at the SEIU Local 1?
I just recently talked with my union rep. I won't say her name. It's a young lady. She says, "Oh, you need to talk to me." I said, "I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're not helping the situation at hand." There's other people that said the same thing to me, and they had talked to you and had nothing. You didn't talk to them or get back to them in a timely manner.
Mhm.
2 or 3 weeks later, after the mere fact, no matter what it is, you should be calling them like a day or two later, not 1 or 2 or 3 weeks later after the fact.
Mhm.
That's not right.
All these, if it's important enough to bring it to the union, it's very time sensitive. Usually something with the employer, something with the job situation, there's no time to wait.
There's no time to waste or wait.
Mhm.
They need some action. That again, I had to get a lawyer, and I told the company I work for, should I get myself a lawyer? But because I need to cover myself. Oh, no, 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 you don't need a lawyer. I said, well, then, okay, then are we done or something? They said, nah, we're done. We'll get back to you, you know, to find out. And like I said, they called me back and said it's unfounded. Whatever the problem was, it was unfounded. I'm like, okay, we'll go with that.
And the young lady that was unresponsive to what you were asking, can you tell us what role she plays in the union?
Um, she's with SEIU Local 1, she's a representative for the union.
Okay.
I don't want to say her name,
Mhm.
but she is a representative for the union.
Mhm.
And she doesn't get back to me. And there's other people that I've talked to that work at other schools and with our union, which is SEIU 1. I have another person that she was supposed to be here today so she can answer some of the questions that you want to ask. And she's not here, but that's okay too. Other than that, I can't I can't really tell you
But that's
anything
okay.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very valuable because in Local 73, you were the union representative and you were
I
trying to
was the
help.
union representative. Yes, I was. at one time there, and I have went to with 73. They were pretty good with me. They sent me to California, other places, and we did a lot of union stuff. I went to Springfield, numerous times to push for more funding for the Chicago public schools, and we got not a bunch. We got some for the Chicago public schools. I pushed for when the Chicago Teacher Union went ahead and we backed them. SEIU Local 73 backed them, and we pushed for them so they can get a better contract too. Like I said, I just don't sit around and just do our union. I work with them as best I can. I volunteer my services, but I tell them things too, that what's going on with our union and the union in the past. Like I said, I've been to Springfield numerous times. I've been to Wisconsin, California. On the union sent me there to do some work over there. I did work over there. I've
So
taken
did
pictures
you?
with the union presidents.
So it's more activism and community, getting people to support, or is it kind of like lobbying as well?
No, for me, I didn't lobby anybody. I asked them if they wanted to, help the union go further and reach out to more people that are in the union. We just don't go doing politics for them. No, we push for more union people to donate more money, more time, because a lot of people don't want to spend the time with the union because, again, they don't want to do anything. They want to go out there and preach whatever the politicians say to preach, and I'm not for that. That's not for me. I rather push for the workers that are here in Chicago.
So what you mean is that when you when the people volunteer, they're not interested in a lot of this boots on the ground, because is it maybe because they needed the union to help them, and then maybe the union didn't help them enough, or they just don't have the time in the day to help out.
That'd be both of those. That'd be both of them, because they're dissatisfied with the union because they're not helping them at all with the problem. There could be a problem where they're coming in late or something else, or another union employee is bothering them or something like this, and or somebody got sick and they didn't get paid well or get paid. Like some people don't even know if you to say one thing, like if I shovel snow, I get extra money for that. Shoveling snow, because that's a hazard. So I go out there and shovel snow and I make sure I get paid. Other people didn't make it. I said, wow, I can't do your work for you. You have to do it yourself. I can't tell the people to pay you. You have to tell them yourself. That's your money. Do
you just guide them as to how to report their hours spent in shoveling snow,
yes.
For instance.
Yeah. You have to. I can't tell them for you. To me, I take pictures of before and after, and I told them, take pictures before and after so you can cover whatever you're doing. Because like today, I cover myself. Whatever I'm cleaning, I make sure I take it before and after, because I don't want to hear nothing later. Well, why didn't you do this, Tex? Well, why did you? I said, look, this is what I got here. I got it.
Did something happen before when you didn't take pictures and then you found out that you needed to take pictures?
Yes, that's the problem. That's why I didn't get paid when I it had been about last two winters ago, and I didn't get paid. They were telling me you're going to get paid. I never got paid. They want to know when, or do you have any documentation on that or anything? I said, no, I don't. Then we can't help you. I said, okay, that's
that was
fine.
in Local 73, right? Or
no, that was in Local 1.
Local 1.
That was with Local 1. But I didn't press the issue. I let it go. But the last winter that went by, I pressed the issue more. Took pictures and I gave it to them. I sent it to them. I sent it to the management, my management, whoever my manager was, and I sent it to payroll to make sure they knew that I was working with the snow.
So before you started working with the snow, did your supervisor train you that you needed to take the pictures to prove that you have.
No, they didn't train me. I
Mhm.
trained myself.
Mhm.
They didn't train us at all on
Mhm.
that. I just took my own pictures myself to cover myself,
Mhm.
no matter what, because in the long run, anybody that's working have to cover themselves, whether it's newscasting or newscasting on TV or anywhere else, wherever they're doing, you always got to cover yourself because there's always somebody that's going to say, oh no, you didn't do this and you didn't do that, or someone's going to press this or that button on you. I said, nope, it's on my phone. I got verification.
Mhm.
That's what I do. Cover your verification behind.
So now that you're thinking about running for union president,
Yes.
what's the reaction of your supporters and of any opponents?
Opponents I don't have because a lot of them don't know as what I'm doing. I'm talking to other people at other schools, and I talk to my coworkers at, like, say, I'll say one school called Bobian. I let them know, and they said, "Oh, really?" I go, "Well, we do need to change Tex." I'm like, "Well, let's see if I can get it." So just if I get on the ballot or whatever, please vote for me. I'll try to do the best I can. And that's basically, I'll just say that one school because I've been to other schools and I don't want to, pick and choose. They might get mad or something. Why are you telling them on this school or that school or something? They might get upset. And then I have to get a lawyer, and then, it's
What
freedom of
about
speech.
the slate that you were talking about? So do you have to get a group of people to run with you in the separate offices so that they could the whole group could get in if one of you win, or at least there's no way to.
Yes.
It has to be a slate. There's no way to be voted in
I think
independently.
there has to be a slate. I'm not going to be 100% with you on that. I don't know that, but I'm pretty sure you have to have a slate of people like say me, I'm running for the president, and who's my treasurer's going to be, who's going to be the vice president. You do have to. I'm pretty sure I'm about 85-90% sure that you have to have some kind of slate.
Mhm.
That's the norm. So
And when you voted before in the past elections, you voted for the candidates. Did they have a slate there, or is the slate mostly in their electioneering, saying that if I win, then I will have these people as my vice president, as my secretary, as my treasurer.
right, yes, you have to have some kind of slate or something to get elected or on the ballot to say that.
But on the ballot, the ballot doesn't delineate who the slate is. It's the only the slate is like in electioneering materials, right?
Ooh, no, the slate is still printed on the ballot.
On the ballot, the entire slate.
The entire slate, yeah.
Mhm.
With, say, like me, it'd be Snoopy is for vice president, Dracula would be treasurer, and so forth and so forth.
Mhm.
I just throw that out there just to tell you some names. I don't want to say names and give the impression that those are the people I'm slating with. So that's why I said Snoopy for vice president, Dracula for treasurer, and so forth. Yeah.
What do you have any idea about all the steps that you need to take in order to? Do you have to get a nomination? Do you have to get signatures? What's involved in running for a union president?
I have to get a slate first, and then I let them know if they want to be with me or not. Then I have to go around and talk to people in the rank and file, which is the schools or anybody else with the local one. Most of them are janitors. I have to go to the airport or wherever they're cleaning and ask them to vote for me and
But how
go forward.
do you know how to get on the ballot? Do you have to register your name and before you start campaigning, or do you have to campaign first and
No, I have to do that before. I have to have a slate before I start any kind of campaign. I have to have somebody that's with me on the slate.
Do you have to register the slate?
I have to register with the union, the slate.
Okay.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
And you know how to do that. You never did it before, but you
I've did it before.
yeah.
I have did it before because I ran for a representative SEIU local 73, and I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. So it was good. I
Yeah.
helped a lot of people at that time, but this union SEIU one needs to be changed. I would say changed, very much changed, because the rank and file is not happy at all.
Of course.
We'll say it that way. They're not happy at all with
And
what's going on.
and when you register, how many months do you have before the election that you need to register, and then after that, how many? I mean, how
It'll
many?
be the
months?
elections. The start of the election is like I would say like February, and then April will be the election. I'm just giving you some stuff that I knew from the last union that I worked with. Like February you start and with your slate, and then April will be the election. So you have to push yourself and the slate to get elected. Yeah.
So would you be talking with people before you register your name in February? Because February to April is only 2 months.
Right.
It's not much time to campaign.
Right. Oh no, I've been talking to people already. I have been talking to people at other schools, a couple schools. My coworkers at the school I'm at now, won't say that where I'm at, but other schools I've been talking to, and the past schools that I've been at too. They know what's going on. They know that I'm going to try. They told me they're going to vote for me if you get on the slate and on the ballot text. They're gonna vote for me. They already told me already, which is good.
And when you talk with these other people, they have the similar experiences with not the with bringing problems to the union and not having a response.
Most of them do. They have the same problem as anybody else with the union. I don't know why they just don't answer them. I don't understand why they call me. I'm like, I'm nobody. I'm just a regular Joe, just like you, or Jovita, because there are women janitors. I can't say just men. There are men and women that work there, whether they're Lithuanian, Polish, Mexican, Mexican American, Central American. It doesn't matter. You're in the union. You still need representation quickly, not 2 or 3 weeks later after people were crying on the phone to me. Well, a young lady was crying to me on the phone. You can't do that. Some of these people are just, don't want to hear that. They need the help. I couldn't help. I just had to direct them to the right people, which I did, and she said she'd get back to them. And
how do they? Do you have any idea how the president feels so secure in her position if she's not doing the work? Because is there a culture that they are unresponsive, or it's only this administration that is
no, I think it's a culture there, because that happened to me before with Local 73, and then I pressed the issue a lot, and then they, of course, came and gathered me and had me as a representative. So I already knew what was going on, and I told them, and so they got it fixed and everything else. But like I said, this local one is totally different than 73. So I'm gonna put my hand in there, because it needs to be changed. All this needs to be changed.
So
you can't just say you're gonna do stuff and don't do it, and pat yourself on the back and say that you got these people. That's good and dandy, but what about the people? Again, what about the people that are here now and need your help now? Not the people that you just helped get jobs or, within the union. They need help. I can't do it, until I have a title.
And when you were in Local 73, you became a representative because what you're saying is that you complained because there were similar problems in Local 73.
Yes.
And then they helped you resolve the issue, and then they appointed you as representative because
Yes.
you did such a good job for yourself.
Yes, I did a good job, not just for me, other employees that were with 73. And I did a good job going to Springfield and other places that the union sent me. And I've talked to other like senators and people that are pushing, aldermen and other politicians that are in city of Chicago and in Springfield.
Do you still remember what legislation you pushed for and whether or not that legislation successfully passed?
That would be with not giving out funding to other political apparatus people without the union voting on it, saying yes or no. That's for sure. It's there now.
Oh,
That's
so
for sure.
yeah, to address what the President Boardman did, so that doesn't happen again, right?
Right. That's there now. There's in place now where you can't just like give out money to a politician now. You have to go to the rank and file. They need to know what's going on with these funds.
So you had to you had to go to the legislature to get a bill passed in order for them to have enforcement. If it were just within the union, if they had these rules that the president had to follow, that wasn't enough for the rank and file. They needed the legislation on the books.
Yes, they needed it. Yeah, they got it on the books now. Yeah, they got it on the books now because they did a fine tuning of some of their bylaws, which the union needed to get done. You can't just give this out and say, well, we knew about this and you should have knew about this. No, I didn't know. If I knew about it, I would have voted no against it. Why would you want to give somebody that's closing a bunch of jobs down? That doesn't make sense to me.
How often do the representatives vote on anything? And could you give me some examples of what they have voted on before?
Well, that was one of the issues was trying to vote for a politician per se, and they wanted
whether or not to endorse a certain politician.
That's what it is, to endorse them or not. And I went the opposite way. I didn't want to get involved in that because you didn't help us, with what we needed, and now you want us to donate to your campaign. I'm not saying which person or which a politician, and they didn't come through. I mean, if you're giving in this money and you got the title, let's say like street cleaner or doggy picker up or whatever, and we gave you that power to do that, and you didn't do what you said, there's a problem then. There's a big problem. We ask you to do this and you don't do it. So, why would we push for you more? No.
So that would be the incumbent. What about the candidates that are running against the incumbent? They have no way of actually proving that they'll do what they promised to do. You still look in their background to see what else they have done for.
Right. You still have to look into what they've done. They do have records of what they've did in the past with the union. They do have records, so they can bring it up. I don't know about the funding per se on what they use, but they use at will some of their volunteers. I'll say volunteers because they don't get paid. You don't get paid for that. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that when a candidate gets endorsed, then union members will be assigned or asked to do political work.
Yes.
And if they say no, is there any repercussions?
I haven't seen any per se myself. I haven't seen any because I did it myself. I said, no, I'm not gonna, I don't like that politician point of view. I don't like it, the way they're handing out this money and the union is backing them. No, I haven't seen none of that. For myself, I haven't seen that per se, myself.
How active, what offices are they most active in, the union? They're of course concerned about the mayor. What about state offices, the national offices for, let's say, local 73 and local 1? What offices are they most concerned about and they would give endorsements?
More of the mayor, more of the mayor, not the like the state. They would give donation to the state, but more of the mayor, because the mayor mostly has more to say on the budget that they're giving to us, like the workers that work for the city or contract workers or something. Remember, I'm a contract worker for CPS. I'm not a CPS employee. I was a CPS employee at one time. Yeah.
But because you got laid off during the pandemic,
Right.
then you weren't able to like continue with your seniority.
Right. So I end up applying at another contract that works for the city. That's another problem too, you know, with the contracts. A lot of people don't know that even though as a contract employee, why would they have that all the time? And you're giving them there's so many contracts out there with Chicago Public Schools. I don't even know how many they got, you know. And say like let's just say the police department, they got a budget of $1 billion a year, and they have to delegate, who's this and who's that, or who gets this, and because that money, that's a lot of money to dole out. I mean, police officers, they got a hard job, and I understand the police, but they get overtime, and they're time and a half. No, they get overtime, and but they risk their life, and I think they should get paid, early, decently, or the overtime that they say.
What about for when you wait, let's I had this question, but I was waiting for you to finish your answer. What mayor would you say has done good for the union and for the CPS?
What mayor? I'm gonna say this mayor did some stuff in the beginning with the union, which is SEIU, and the teachers union. Yeah, they did pretty good. Other than that, I'm not gonna say Ron Ryan because he just closed a bunch of schools down. Daily number 2, the son, he did pretty well. A little bit well, but he closed down a few places too, like Megsfield, where union busting there. I really can't say too much. This mayor did pretty good with the teachers union, and he helped a little bit.
Which mayor?
Lori Lightfoot, a little, but this guy that's there now, he helped in the background.
Okay,
he helped a lot. Yeah, before
he was mayor.
Yeah, he did help because he came from I'm pretty sure the Cook County. Yeah, he came from the county. He came from the county, and I worked for the county also. But he did help a little, which I like.
What do you mean by a little? What do you still remember? What he helped? What he helped about?
He made sure that the union got a fair shake. That's all I could say. A fair shake. Even though he did work the backgrounds with the county, so he did a fair amount of wrangling, or just to produce the money for teachers union, because you have to vote on this stuff for the county to get this money from Springfield. You have to vote for that, and I'm pretty sure he did vote for most of that money that comes to the schools. Which is good. But like anything else, I'm kind of mad at the government because they're not keeping their promise where this schools across the nation should be given more money and flexibility to spend the money for the students to read and write. Even if they have the computers, they need the training. These kids need the training from kindergarten to up to high school.
When you your priorities, if you were president, what is your priority being responsive to the union members, or is there more?
My main priority would be for the union rank and file to, if they have a problem, try to solve it within a certain time frame. You can't wait 2 or 3 weeks because you don't know what they're dealing with, either at the school level or in their personal life at the school level. You know, there's people that have problems, you know, or like, let's just say one thing, a death in the family, and your payday was like in 3 or 4 days, and you needed that money to, you know, bury your mom or whatever, or dad or whatever. You needed it, and you need to talk to your union and we're try to help, have them help, try to get them funding quicker so you can bury your whatever, your loved one, whatever it could be, quicker, or some kind of help with them, you know, or if they had a problem or they had an accident or something like that, you know, it has to have a good turnaround within a couple of days. You know, if it's a real big problem, a personal, whether it's personal or school.
What about CPS funding? So is that one of on your agenda too, to get more funding for CPS? Would that help? Would that help the students, and would that also help the union members?
That would help both, I think, because a lot of these kids, for me, what I do is I say, I'm a janitor. I clean the school because I know these kids are going to come into the school. If the kids come into school and they see that it's clean and it smells clean, they're going to be happy. They're looking at this, oh, okay, we're at school. That's great, 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 great. You know, if it's dirty and sloppy, they're not going. They're going to be sad. You know, and I'd rather have them be happy. Yeah, they don't want to be there because who knows what's going on at their home life. You know, but that's why I like cleaning the school. You know, even though I wasn't raised for that, but I still do it.
You enjoy your job, and you're satisfied with your work.
Yeah, I wish everybody was like that. I wish they enjoyed the job, even cleaning the schools per se. You know, some of them don't.
Yeah, what about underperforming schools? Do you see any solution to those instead of what the politicians often do, just close them down?
Underfunding schools.
Underperforming schools.
Underperforming schools. Yes. Okay. I wouldn't break them up or nothing. Underfunding school or underperforming schools. I would try to push for more the teachers to do more for the kids, not just babysit them, because a lot of some underfunding schools are under the schools that are not doing well performance wise. They think they're just babysitting. I don't think you're babysitting them. You know, I really don't. I think if you sit down and give the kids a chance, they would want to be there and do the best they can. No matter if they have holes in their shoes or in their socks, what I've noticed and I've seen, but if the place is clean, they're going to come and be happy. And the teachers need to be the same way, on board, just like the students.
So you see sometimes that the teachers are not happy with their jobs, and then they're not trying hard enough to reach the kids?
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I've seen them more pushed for the kids to learn more. And that's why I say they need to put more money across the United States for these schools to perform better. That's including security and cleansing of the schools. If you have the good security and good cleansing of the schools, the kids will follow the lead.
They learn from their environment, and if it's a good environment, then they would want to be there, and they would want to
even in the bad neighborhoods. It doesn't matter if you got a clean school. The teachers are there. They like the school clean, just like the students. They will follow through. Sure, I've seen that.
They will perform better.
They will perform better, just like the teachers. I've seen that for sure.
Well, Tex, if listeners wanted to contact you and maybe follow up with you and see, maybe support you, how could they contact you?
They could text me, don't call me because I won't answer. They can contact me at my cell phone, which is 773-746-1864. Again, do not call me because I don't know who you are. You text me and I will get back to you in a timely manner. And don't call me at 10 o'clock at night, or text me at 10 o'clock and I think I'm gonna text you right back. Because I won't. I'll wait till the next business day where you're fresh and I'm fresh and everybody's happy.
Mhm.
So that's the number where I'm at, and I own my own company, which is Text Moves and Maintenance Service, and just leave a message there, and I'll get back to you. Like I said, in a timely manner. If
Okay.
you have a problem at the school, cleaning or whatever.
Okay, Tex. Thank you so much for joining us
You're
on
welcome.
WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. Was there something
Anytime.
else that you wanted
No,
to?
no,
Okay,
anytime. Just
okay,
call
thank
me
you so
anytime.
much.
Anybody can call and text me
Mhm,
and let me know if there's a problem within the school and
mhm,
cleanliness.
mhm.
That's it.
Okay,
All
okay.
right.
And any problems too, like if they have some questions with the unions, you seem to understand a lot about that.
Yes, if you have a problem with the union, that's the number to call me, 773-746-1864.
Okay.
Thank you and have a great day.